All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about logic blocks. And a logic block is where we start an if statement. So we're going to have gates, conditions. There's going to be a lot of verbiage that we're going to enter into this. So far, we've covered relating numbers and variables, arrays, strings. But now what we want is we basically just want to do a logical assessment with different outcomes that are conditional. So for that, let's say age. All right, so we got to start with something. And age equals input, and we'll say, please enter your age. All right, so we're going to prompt the user to give us a value. We're going to enter that value, obviously, for this example, because we just want to make it a little dynamic. But what we're going to say is this. We're going to say if age is greater than, I don't know, what do we want to say? Age is greater than 25. Nah, 16. We're going to say if age is greater than 16, we're going to display, congratulations, you can get your driver's license. All right, now we've covered in a video that, good Lord, congratulations. Spelling, yeah, woo, I'm just bad at it. All right, so congratulations, you can get your driver's license. In a previous video, we covered this, but I'll just go ahead and cover it again. When we enter a string, we start it with an apostrophe, we end it with an apostrophe. If we need to use an apostrophe inside of our string, for instance, for possession, like your driver's license, then we need to put two apostrophes. Now, I don't actually know if there's two apostrophes, but if there's an apostrophe in driver's license, but I would assume there is. It seems like it's possessive. But then we're going to say end. So we want to know if you're greater than 16, you can have a driver's license. Otherwise, you can't. But we're going to cover the otherwise in a minute. So let's go ahead and run this. All right, so when we run it, it says, please enter your age. We'll say 12. And it says age equals 12. Now, we didn't suppress this, so let's go ahead and suppress it because we don't want to see outputs if we don't have what we need to. So age equals 12, nothing happens. I know because it doesn't say busy or waiting for input or paused or anything down here. So then let's go ahead and check again. So now we'll say, all right, how old are you? You're 23. It says, congratulations, you can get your driver's license. So now what we have is a conditional statement. It's also a conditional action. So let's talk about the pieces. This line is called a gate. This entire thing is called a logic block. Our logic block contains a condition, age greater than 16, which, if satisfied, leads to the execution of an action. That's our display statement. Now, our action can be a ton of code. It can be as many lines as we need. But we only get to that code if we trip our gate. Think about it as, you know, you're walking down the street and all of your neighbors have gates. Okay, now, while it is sort of felonious to sort of try to open all of them, and you shouldn't, and I don't advocate that, you can only get in if you have a key or permission, okay? So when you go to the gate, you want to know that you can go in. But once you're in, all right? And then you're going to leave. So we're going to talk about these gates as a way to get to a back alley. So if all of your neighbors have a gate, and they all lead to a back alley on the back side, you go through the door, then you go out, and you go into the back alley. Whatever you encounter there is different because one neighbor's yard is going to be different from another neighbor's yard. So these gates will lead to different actions. But once you trip a gate, you leave. And we're going to prove that point in a little bit. So I have my gate. It's contingent upon my control word. That's why it's in blue. It's a MATLAB control word. If I have my condition, if age is greater than 16, if that's true, we're going to step in and we're going to execute this display statement. So that's how this works. We verify that when we put in an age that was lower than 16, that we didn't see anything. When we put in an age that was greater than 16, we saw, congratulations, you can get your driver's license. Let's see if we enter 16. Nothing, because again, the condition is greater than 16. But look, if you're 16, you can get your driver's license. So we're going to say greater than or equal to. Now we'll try 16 again. 16 trips that display statement. We have tripped the gate, and we have executed this action, this line of code. Well, look, if you can't get your driver's license, then we should give them some sort of like tacit, I don't know, compensatory or like some sort of statement. So what we're going to do is we're going to type else. And otherwise, we're going to display, well, hang in there. You will get a driver's license, one day. All right, so here's the deal. Now we have this whole thing. Now I'm going to run it, okay? we said that if we entered a number greater than 16, we saw, congratulations, you can get your driver's license. We said that if it's 16, congratulations, you can get your driver's license. But now, if it's something lower, like we used 12 before, it says, well, hang in there. You'll get your driver's license one day. So there. Now what we have is a gate that has a condition. This action that is indented below that gate will only get executed if we trip the gate. Else is an otherwise. Notice there's no condition. If I don't trip a gate above the else, once I've stepped into this logic block, and if I haven't tripped a gate, I just execute this action. Okay? Now, if-else statements are sort of a staple, okay, in any programming language. You have conditional logic. You have if something is true, do this, otherwise do that. And that's really how you can think about else. It's otherwise. It's not conditional. Okay? There is no condition attached to it. So we're actually going to leave this one there, all right? And we're going to get into else ifs and compounding complexities in our next video. So again, if you have any ideas for how to make this conversation better, please leave them in the comments. I hope this helped, because this is kind of a hard thing to get to. I've been doing this long enough that it's somewhat hard to see what you take for granted and how to distill it down. But if you have any suggestions, again, please leave them in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.